Well, hello, and welcome to Backstop. Back to Stop. Let's team up those daring defenders, episode 26. And we're a day late and not a dollar short because it was my wife's birthday yesterday. So we were celebrating and watching Spirited with Will Ferrell and what's that guy's name? Ryan Reynolds. Yes, those two talents. It was fun. It was a silly little Christmas musical. I enjoyed it. Check it out. We have a wife got a new work Mac, which allows us to have 3 free months of Apple TV, which is we're gonna check some stuff out. But we're covering Defenders 15 and 16. This is the first full story with Kyle Richmond, Nighthawk, as a member. The quartet now is basically Doc Strange, the Hulk, Valkyrie, and Nighthawk. And this is, I've said this before, and I don't know, I've said it before. I think we're in a sweet spot of comics for me. That I'm realizing more and more as I read these, and I read when we read the Defenders Avengers War, and when my first Justice League was, and when my first Legion was, at this like 1972, 1973 is when I started reading comics, and I started to read certain series consecutively. My brother was giving me Defenders every month when he got it, or giving me a couple. Same with Avengers. And this is when I started. I'm really in that spot where I was reading Defenders every month for the next 10 years. I'm not going to be as kind to the back end of the series as I am to the front, just because I'm just not gonna. But I'm really enjoying this. So let's get started. Let's pull up the database and give you the little basics on this. This is Defenders Volume 1, number 15, with a lovely cover by Sal Buscema, Mike Esposito, John Romita, and Gasser Saladino. It shows the Hulk battling Unus the Untouchable, Nighthawk bouncing off the Blob, and Doc Strange battling Magneto. This is Magneto before the new X-Men Magneto. This is Magneto as a bwahaha villain. It's really odd, but we'll get to that. This was released on June 18th, 1974, cover date September 1974. Writer Len Wein, penciler Slingin' Sal Buscema, yes. Inks by Klaus Janson, stunning work on this. Colorist Glennis Wein, letterer the amazing John Costanza, and editor Roy Thomas. Roll call: Doctor Strange, Hulk, Valkyrie, Nighthawk. Supporting character: Professor X. Antagonist, the brother of evil mutants. This is still when they used evil in the name of bad guy teams. Really a silly trope, but, this is Magneto, the Blob, Mastermind, Lorelei, Unus the Untouchable, and Alpha, the ultimate mutant. So let us get to the little synopsis. As Nighthawk settles into the rank of the Defenders with a new costume, it is a nice new costume, Valkyrie once more expresses her desire to leave the team to sort out her identity crisis. However, things are cut short when they are contacted by Professor X, who is seeking aid to stop Magneto from most recent plot. Traveling with Xavier to Magneto's hidden lair, the group ends up fighting his evil Brotherhood of Mutants and are captured. Breaking free and fighting the Brotherhood again, they are too late to stop Magneto from awakening his most recent creation, Alpha, the ultimate mutant. This is a fun comic. It is. I mean, it's a basic 70s comic. It is. The art is stunning. I'm going to go off on the art. As I've gushed and praised Sal Buscema. I think Sal Buscema is one of the greats. I think he's an underappreciated master. I just don't think he gets as much credit as I would throw upon him. I'm a huge fan of his. There are others. I think Omar from Near Mint Condition sings his praise as much as I do. I know when I was listening to Tighten Up the Defense, please watch Near Mint Condition. It's great about new trades coming out. Best news source for that. I got a couple more Omnis, and I'm eyeballing a couple more. And that's a great source of information of what's coming out. The first 4 Avengers are all being reissued this year. And if I can scrounge up the money I need, I'm going to get them because I would like to have the Avengers in Omni. But I think Sal and Klaus Janson are great together. I know Hug sung their praises when he was covering them. Him and Corey were covering them in Tighten Up the Defense. But it is. I think it's some of the best work. It's so amazing seeing them together. This is a fun story. It is, you got Nighthawk, coming to the Sanctum Sanctorum and hanging out and showing his new costume. This is a costume he'll have for, a decade. And everything's a variation of it. I am fond of his original black and gray one, his more Batman-esque one though, but this is good. This is when, and then on page, I guess it's 5, 1, 2, 4. No, it's page 4. They catch Doc talking to himself, and he says, "No, I'm talking to this." And there's a projection from Professor X. Professor X realizes they need some muscle, so he contacts the Hulk, and the 4 of them all arrive in New Mexico. And are attacked by illusions created by Jason Wingard, the mastermind. And this is, like I said earlier, this is Bwahaha Magneto. This isn't Magneto, the freedom fighter. Magneto, who sees himself as a hero. He is written in 1960s, 1950s. Bwahaha. I'm evil. I know I'm evil. I'm going to call my team evil. I'm this. If he had a mustache, he'd be twirling it. It is not a Magneto I like. And I think it is very weak in the story because he's dull like this. He is a carbon copy of other villains. He doesn't have the subtlety and nuance that will come with him under Chris Claremont's and everyone else who's written him since Claremont. I'm a big fan of Len Wein's, but this is one where he is just, I think he's ticking the boxes. I will say this, that the art's stunning. You got flashbacks, you got some exposition, which I like. The page where they're being held captive between these two bars is really well drawn. It's all colored yellowish and reds with tints, and they're kind of translucent. And they break free, and it gets a one-page panel where they break free, and it's just dynamic, man. And then the fight scenes are amazing. I really like them. And it ends on a great cliffhanger with a terrible panel of crazy Magnetos in a single panel. That is my big thing. I enjoyed this. It's nothing over the moon great. It is just a fun 20-some page comic. But I really I'm so used to a more well-rounded, more fleshed out Magneto that it loses me a bit. It just does. And it's basically that this is a comic that is 50 years old or 37 years old, 38 years old. No, 48 years old. It's dated. There are parts of it that are starting to become dated. Is it fun I would give this to a kid and they could read it, which is a good thing. Giving kids comic books, I am all for. I was on a Discord chat with Jimbo and another gentleman, and about, what does DC need to because it's DC writing the ship? Is there stuff? I'm reading some DC, but they're writing it's writers I like and characters I like. I do think there is something missing in comics nowadays. For me, I would like, if there are people young, everybody's got to be younger than me. Listen, I would like to know what 30-somethings and 20-somethings think about comics today, because they're the next generation of me. I'm an older reader. I'm transferring to digital for space. I'm not a collector anymore. I like going back reading comics from my youth, and I can see them for what they are then. There are comics that are coming out today that I'm really enjoying. I've liked the 3 new Golden Age books that have come out. I'm a big fan of Jess Lemire's Black Hammer and some of his other stuff, a lot of his other stuff. I'm enjoying Aaron's Avengers. It's entertaining. I have started to read the Bendis Justice League that goes into Dark Crisis, which I've read none of because I'm waiting until I catch up on the Justice League, and I'm unimpressed. But that's me. And I wish I would understand. But this comic is great for kids. And I was saying in this Discord argument that, I would like them to find some way to hook another generation of kids into comics. And how do you do that? Because I don't think there is many people who 16, 17, 18 when I got hooked and became a collector, or going to the shop to collect. I don't know. I don't have kids. I never had kids. So I would love to know what the experience is now, and hope DC and Marvel uses the movies, and I think it helps them. I think DC's movies have been all over the place, is the fairest term I can say. So who knows? That's a side thing, because my whole point is they're comics you could give a kid. Give a kid these. They may laugh at them because they might seem as cheesy, because they're probably more expecting more from fiction than we are, or popular culture fiction. I don't know. I'm just really intrigued by that, because I am thinking about, I know my local comic shop does okay, but it has a broad spectrum of stuff. I mean, it sells everything when it comes to trades. I mean, it is indie stuff, it is manga, it is contemporary, it is back issue, and they've got a good grasp of everybody, and they're right near a college. I mean, they're 20 feet from the college campus. So, and the Virginia Commonwealth University teaches comic art. It teaches it. It has a couple professors that you can get a degree. I don't know if you can get a degree, but you can minor. I guess I don't know how it is, but they teach comic arts, and it has one of the biggest comic collections in the world in their library. So that's another story. So let's move on to issue 16, and I will give you my little opinion on part 2 of this, which I enjoyed a little bit more. That is for sure. It is Defenders 16. It has a great cover by Gil Kane and John Romita Sr. It is a great cover. It is Alpha holding the scales of justice with the evil mutants on one side and the Defenders in the other. It was released July 1974. If you hear jingle bells, we have given Monkey the cat a collar with a lot of bells on it, and she hates it, but she looks Christmassy. Its cover date was October 1974. It is titled Alpha the Ultimate Mutant. It is by Len Wein. Writer Sal Buscema, Mike Esposito inker. Good inks on him. It's not as good as Klaus, sorry. Klaus Wine colors, letterers Jasper Saladino and Charlotte Jeter. Edited by Roy Thomas. Roll call again is Doc Strange, Hulk, Valkyrie, Nighthawk, and again the same villains. Here's a synopsis for this one. Unleashing his newest creation, Alpha, the Ultimate Mutant, Magneto and his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants are able to easily defeat the Defenders and Professor X. Taking the rapidly evolving Alpha to the United Nations building in New York, Magneto plots to hold the United Nations hostage until mutants are made rulers of Earth. He uses Alpha to lift the UN building high in the air. Freeing them from the rubble of Magneto's collapsed base, the Defenders and Professor X travel to the UN to do battle with the Brotherhood. The Defenders are no match for the still evolving Alpha, whose powers enable it to warp reality. However, when Alpha evolves to a state above that of mutants, it stops and uses its powers to judge which faction is worth punishment. Worth punishment? Okay. Deeming Magneto and his Brotherhood evil, he reverts them to the age of children before restoring the UN and flying off into space to find his place among the stars. This one's a little funner. The art's a little more basic 70s Sal Buscema, because Esposito he complements Sal, but it stays Sal, where Klaus adds to it. So it's great. It starts from the cliffhanger, and the Alpha the Ultimate Mutant is this big kind of dumb looking guy with this kind of thuggish face. I don't know what they're going for, but he looks ape-like, but with no hair. And the evil mutants trap them, and they get stuck in there, buried alive, but they get out. That takes about 4 pages, which is fine. But then you cut to the UN, where Magneto and the evil mutants walk into the UN and take control. They lift it. Sal lays out a good story. His panel I like his panel layout. It is great. It leads you. I just find his art a lot of fun and very dynamic. You see, Alpha starts to mutate from somewhat monkeyish, I don't know what to call it, to a different state. And he uses his ability to warp reality to battle the Defenders, and he takes them out one by one, and he finally evolves, and he has a giant brain, and then Doctor Strange and Professor Xavier, try to talk him down, and there's this great one-panel thing where you see him of the cosmos holding them like he's holding the scales of justice with the two different teams, and then he zaps them, and they're all little kids, and he looks like, ultimately, by the time he leaves, he looks like the gray aliens from a UFO. And you've got wailing babies for Magneto and the Evil Brotherhood. It's a fun issue. It's a lot of fun. The art, again, Sal, it's great. It's a good 20-some pages of joy. It really does get the story. And, I remember reading these. I think I read these back to back. I don't know. But I think that it's another fun comic. It is what we're going to see while Len is writing the Defenders. He covers it for a few more issues and a couple giant sizes. Our next comic is going to be Giant Size 2. And I think Giant Size 3 we'll be doing 2 giant sizes in a row. No, we'll be doing one and then 17 and 18. And it's Len for a while. And then we're going to get to Steve Gerber. So this is the gap between Englehart. And it's good because it's Len Wein. There's nothing, he tells a good story. There's no, I like his exposition. I like how he lays out how he puts a story together and how Sal and him work together. I think they come up with a good story. It's fun. Yeah, they're worth your fun. It's worth your time. I don't know if Alpha ever came back. I don't think we don't see Magneto again until, really until he appears once anew. But we're getting close to, I think the new X-Men have appeared by now. Yeah, they have. So the new X-Men are around. We're in the year of the giant size, so yes, they are. It's a lot of fun. So what's next for us is Giant Size Defenders 2, which is a really good one, if I remember correctly. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're enjoying this stuff. I hope you're enjoying reading along. Really do. I'm enjoying reading along in these comics a great deal. And I think the 2 issues is helping me enjoy it more. It's speeding it up a little bit. Next week it will be just the 1 giant size. I'm going to do the giant size as single issues, and we've got some Marvel 2-in-1s coming up and some team-ups. I'm inserting them in because that's what's in the Essential. I'm using that as my guide. So a lot of fun. So folks, this is going up on a Friday, not a Thursday, because with my wife's birthday, as I said earlier. But I am going to drop an episode tomorrow. I'm going to give you my take on Justice Society #1 of the New Golden Age miniseries, and then go over a couple other comics that I've gotten in the last couple weeks, maybe. And then I'm recording with Ron. We're going to be recording 2 episodes tomorrow, one that will go up a week from Saturday and one 2 weeks from that to celebrate as we get closer to Christmas. And I've got other things planned, things to read. I'm bidding on Omnibus, a Fantastic Four Volume 1. It's at a reasonable price as of now. So I got The Invaders, as I said. It's beautiful, and I'm reading through, jumping between Thunderbolts and New Warriors, and I'm enjoying them. There's a lot of super teams that I haven't read. The 90s superhero teams, the early 2000 ones. I read Thunderbolts, but I had to go back and read it. So this is the first time I've ever reread it, but it's the first time I've ever read New Warriors, and I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it. So before I say goodbye, I want to read an email we got from the amazing Billy D., host of A World on Fire, Monsters and Magazines, and Zany Haney, The Brave and the Bob, which are great podcasts. Listen to all of them. I jump around because he's got a great back catalog, and I'm kind of cherry picking the good ones, especially the ones about the Tomb of Dracula. Check them out. But Brave and the Bob are great, and World on Fire, I've been singing its praises for the years, and I'm lucky enough to be part of the guest talkers or whatever on some issues, and we still got some more freedom fighters to come in the new year, so look forward to that. But this is from Billy. Hey Ross, thanks for the continued shout-outs. They are very much appreciated. They are very well earned, Billy. You well deserved. You're a great podcaster. As for Doctor Strange goes, I'll just reiterate my personal preference. The lead Ditko material falls a bit flat for me. The writing is very formulaic, And while I do enjoy the moments of trippy art, the rest is just very vanilla. The Roy Thomas, Gene Cole, and Tom Palmer run is much better than what preceded it, and as everyone knows that Marvel's premier early Doctor Strange by Steve Englehart and Frank Brunner is my sweet spot. There is still plenty of good material after that era in the solo title, and of course in the Defenders. But as that series word on, it ran out of gas with me the last year or so of the issues. I have the same problem. After that, Doc appearances really never were able to float my boat on a consistent basis. Anyway, keep up the good work as I'm enjoying your Defenders and Legion coverage. Cheers, Billy D. Thank you, Billy. I agree. I have the Steve Englehart Doc Strange is my favorite. Does that make me weird? Let me know. Until I'm back again and I'm in your ears, please be safe. Please be smart. Please be kind to one another in these weird, weird times we live in. And read some comic books.